Good afternoon. Well, my dear students, in the last class, we could discuss with the poetry section, the school boy. Now, today, let us go to Watchman of the Lake by R.K. Narayan. Who is this R.K. Narayan? My dear students, R.K. Narayan is one of the trio poets. Who is this? Trio poets. He is one among trio poets. There are trio in the sense three poets of Indian writing in English. Who are those? R.K. Narayan, Raja Rao, Mulkaraj, Anand. Well, my dear students, today we have here three main Indian writing Indian English writing. We have three poets. They are none other than R.K. Narayan, Raja Rao and Mulkaraj Anand. And these three people have contributed a lot in the Indian English literature. Well, my dear students, here what do you mean by R.K.? Rasipuram, Krishna Swami, Ayyar, Narayan Swami. My dear students, his complete name is Rasipuram Krishna Swami Ayyar Narayan Swami. I mean Rasipuram Krishna Swami Narayan. It is his full name, R.K. Narayan. To talk about R.K. Narayan, he has a wonderful history in the field of writing, especially Indian writing in English. When we talk about especially the novels or short stories in India, especially in English, R.K. Narayan comes first. Why? Because he has been acclaimed as one of the trio poets, as I told you little while ago. My dear students, he is famous for the guide. He is famous for the work called the guide, and through which he has become more important and attracted towards the literary ideas in order to bring awareness of the rustic persons or philosophical people's lifestyle, and moreover the mythological references are found in the works of R.K. Narayan. Well, my dear students, even he is the recipient of Padma Vibhushana, and even he is the recipient of Sahitya Academy Award in English. Of course, we find that he is the first person to get the Sahitya Academy Award for English literature in India. My dear students, to look at this short story, Watchman of the Lake, which is written in the dramatic version. Here we find in this dramatic version or drama the sacrifice of the Mara, the character Mara, who has a sacrificing, or even one who dedicated his entire life for the sake of the people of his village, especially that is Baba Udan Hills area. Even it also comes in Sakrepatna. My dear students, a person who has more concern towards a great fortune, nowadays we come across that many people are making the money, many people are striving very hard in order to earn the money, or in order to earn the property, or in order to earn the other fortunes. But here in the Watchman of the Lake, we find there is a great character called Mara. One who has simplicity in his attitude, but still he wants to show himself that what he is. Of course, now let us go to the outline story of Watchman of the Lake. Well, my dear students, there are 5 scenes in this, but let us look at the characters who are now the king we have here. King is also there, village headman, Mara, Ganga, Ganga's son, and others. I mean, these are the major characters we find over here. My dear students, in this drama or in this play, even characters are also called as dramatized persona, who are showing their significant roles, right? Well, after going through these characters, we have 5 scenes. Totally there are 5 scenes in this. How many scenes? 5 scenes. Then let us go to now scene number 1. What happens in the scene number 1? Mara, he just wanted to. He just shows his importance in what way he is very much significant in the play called Watchman of the Lake. As village headman, the first scene starts with the village headman is ordering all the workers to work properly in order to get ready the road for the arrival of the king. As the king would arrive on the very next day, the road menders, the people who are working to repair the road or mend the road, he was telling everyone to concentrate and to involve in the work in spite of wasting the time, in spite of giving their concentration towards somewhere else. Meanwhile, we come across Mara comes and he wants to tell something, but he was obstructed. Why he was obstructed? Because he was not at all known. He wanted to meet the king. In order to meet the king and tell about something. How he meets? Through the help of village headman. But here village headman obstructs. Village headman is not allowing Mara to meet the king. Meanwhile, what he says, Mara does not do anything. He says that he wants to tell something to the king now. That's the reason he has come to the village. But the village headman thinks that Mara is disturbing the laborers unnecessarily or unwantedly, and he doesn't have working sense. He has come unnecessarily and disturbing all the road menders. I mean, people who are mending the road. Of course, even after listening to the words of the Mara, he scolds him that he was a fool. Who? Mara is being scolded by the village headman as a fool. Mara could not do anything. With the help of another character called Bhima. Small character is there. Yes, another a minor character, Bhima. With this Bhima, village headman, he just puts him into a cellar. Who? Village headman asked Bhima, who was strong and sturdy. Village headman asked Bhima to put Mara into a prison or cellar, so that he did not have any opportunity to meet the king now. In this way, the first scene ends. Well, my dear students, going to next, the second scene. In the first scene, Mara tries to meet the king, but failed because of the village headman, because of the village headman. Now moving on to the second scene. In the second scene, what happens? My dear students, in the second scene, Mara was sitting in the tree. He jumps down from the tree immediately. When there was the king, when he was arriving, when the king was passing under that tree, meanwhile, he jumped from the tree. Though king asked others to send away somewhere, meanwhile, even some people too said the same. But finally, the king asked, why are you all here? Why were you sitting in the tree? Why didn't you come to me? What is the matter? You tell me now. Then the Mara told clearly the king that, my lord, I just wanted to meet you. I wanted to tell you something about the dream that I had. Fine. What is your dream? Then why didn't you come to me earlier itself? My lord, the village headman did not allow me to come to meet you. Fine. Tell me what is the matter now. Then Mara tells the dream of the goddess Veda. My lord, the place where you are standing now, it is one of the sacred places. Earlier, in this place, Lord Hanuman came over here. When there was a fight between Ravana and Lakshmana, meanwhile, Ravana defeated Lakshmana. So he got fainted. He became unconscious. Meanwhile, he came to this mountain and he picked the Sanjeevani leaves from here. Since he collected the Sanjeevani leaves, there arose a stream, and immediately the water started to flow from the crest of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain. My lord, this place is so sacred. You do not know. It is providing the food, shelter, clothes to the thousands together of people, animals, and other neighboring villages. It is more helpful. My lord, you must be knowing this. This is very important. Fine. He accepted it. Then he started to continue the conversation. My lord, I just wanted to tell you something. King was more curious to listen to the words of Mara. What is the matter? Let me know it. Then Mara continued the dream of the goddess. My lord, one day I was sleeping in the hut. Meanwhile, there was immediately, I found there was presence of the goddess in my dream. She came right in front of me and stood. Her tresses were flying. Her tresses, her hair, her tresses were flying. A ruby was found. She was on. Her dress code was completely filled with gold, golden ornaments. Her dress was woven with gold. And there was a vermilion on her forehead. Her eyes were shining like anything. She was truly in an angry mood. She was completely, very much dignified in her appearance. And at the same time, she was having a weapon in her hand, a sword. Then, after seeing her appearance, I just prostrated at her feet. I fell down at her feet. And I asked, I requested her, what is the matter? What is the matter, goddess? Have I done anything wrong? Then she asked him to wake up. Then he woke up. Then she started to tell that the water which is flowing from the crest of top of the mountain, which flows down of this Baba Budan Hills area, it is sheltering. It's one of the pets. Goddess, this I have only created Goddess Veda is my own child, and she is completely providing the beautiful environment and completely cold atmosphere. Plantation is being created here. Totally nowhere we find such an atmosphere. My own thing, she is being sheltered over here, and you just can't understand how to protect her, because she is going everywhere. She is spread all over this hill, and even other neighboring villages also. So whatever the water comes from the top of the mountain, let us not go away in waste. If you build a tank around her, it will be more useful. If you build a tank around her, it will be more useful. Otherwise, she will go away. She will go away and it will be waterless again. Then king accepted it. Okay, this is truly fantastic and bitter truth. I was not knowing that. So, Goddess came to me in my dream and told me to inform you to build a tank around this lake. Well, my dear students, as he told that, king asked Mara to accompany with him to the court or to the palace where the king was staying. Then Mara, though he disobeys, since he was not in a well robe and in the sense well dress code, but as per the request of the king, he accepted it. Meanwhile, we found that yes, the entire atmosphere was completely changing. So after telling this dream, king accepts the words of Mara, that Mara's words were more powerful. Well, so in the second scene, what happens, my dear students? Mara tells the king about the dream of Goddess. Mara tells the king about the dream of Goddess of building a tank around the lake. My dear students, this is all about the second scene. Now, moving on to the third scene. In the scene 3, what is going to happen? My dear students, scene 3, here we come across both after the decision of the Mara and king, the lake was being built with a beautiful tank, and there what they found, Mara was appointed as watchman of the lake. In the scene 3, Mara the lake was being built. Tank was built around the lake and Mara was appointed as watchman of the lake. And after being appointed the watchman of the lake, he goes through the things. He wants to now look after, supervise the lake. He finds that there was a fisherman who was fishing with a rod in his hand and who was the fisherman who was collecting the fish into the basket. When Mara finds this, he goes nearby him and asks him, what was he doing? Why was he fishing there? He tells him that the lake is very significant one. It is sacred one. The lake belongs to goddess and nobody can harm it. Nobody can pollute it. Nobody can destroy it. It is an order by the goddess itself. And I am the king over here. I am the superior person. When they have appointed me, when the king has appointed me as a watchman of the lake, I am the master of this. I am the master of this lake. And I am the owner of this lake. Because they have given me the responsibility to look after the things. And even Goddess Veda, Goddess told me that no creatures should be destroyed from this lake. Every creature, every living being, every living creature which is present over here in the lake, and whichever the bird hovers over this lake or on the bank of this lake should ever be killed. It should not be killed over here. Everything, every animal, every creature should be protected. And even he tells that earlier the village headman too bullied him, threatened him of entering into the lake, but Mara did not allow him to get into the lake. And even he asks his son to look after the things. Since that lake is very much significant and it's that lake's responsibility, once he had it, once it was handed over to him, he is the most responsible person. My dear students, though Mara tells the fisherman did not convince himself, but finally he was ordered by Mara that if he would come once again, he would not be on the safer side. He would be punished. And even he continues that. There was an entry of the tiger who comes in the night and drinks the water and goes away. And there was a cowboy who was bringing the cow into the lake. He asked him not to bring it, otherwise it will be died once it enters into the deeper part of the water in the lake. So after happening these things, Mara found that there was completely a change in the atmosphere. The top of the mountain found with thick clouds. So it started to rain. Then he asked his son to go to the hut. Then they moved, both of them they moved towards hut. In this way, scene 3 ends. In the scene 3, what happened, my dear students? Scene 3, Mara was appointed as a watchman of the lake. Watchman of the lake. And protected the lake from the polluters. Now, my dear students, going on to the fourth scene, what is going to happen in the fourth scene? Right at the beginning, Mara's arrival at the king's palace. Now it is midnight. King is sorry for that. King is not now woken up. King is sleeping at the palace, where the Mara found that it was heavy rain. There was a torrential rain, and Goddess has created completely a natural calamity like a flood. His body is entirely drenched into the water. Now he is completely shivering. He is not able to stand in a position. He is not able to balance himself. So he came and started. He woke up the king. King, he rang the bell, and the bell rang for several times. And he came that, who came at this midnight? Now it is very difficult to determine what to say or what not to say. Who has come at this midnight? There was no difficulty at all so far. How it has been changed? Then, when king appeared before the Mara, the king asked Mara, "What's wrong? Why are you in this wet clothes? Why are you completely drenched? Your hair is completely like wrapped. Your hair is completely, plastered on your face. Why? Because he is completely drenched in the water. Got completely wet. His clothes also got wet. He is not able to now answer to the king. When king is asking him, "What is the matter? Tell me." He is not able to talk to the king. "My lord, the lake," he started to say the lake itself. "The lake is going to burst out, break. It's about to outburst. How? What has happened? My lord, you don't know. Goddess Veda is overflowing. And the lake is completely full. Completely it is overbrimmed. I can't tell you about this, why it is flowing." Then he started to tell what has happened actually. Mara started to tell him, to the king continuously, "My Lord," goddess came to me again. When it was torrential rain, we went to hut, and at midnight the water level increased till the lake was completely covered with the water. And I found that the rain drops were beating the walls of the hut. I just wondered at that moment why there was lightning, thundering, and why there was torrential rain at this midnight. Little while ago, I just could not able to answer. Meanwhile, I found that there was goddess Veda who was standing, whose appearance was so strong. She was in angry mood again. She was wearing a sword in her hands, and she was about to smash the boundary of this lake. Her vermilion was split into different directions, and her tresses were flying. Her eyes were bigger in size like elephants' eyes. And her appearance was completely afraid me. I could not control. I just fell at her feet. I just prostrated at her feet. Goddess, respected goddess, what happened? Goddess Veda, what's wrong? What happened? Is there any mistake by me, or is there any blunder by me? Have I committed any mistake? No, you don't tell me the reason. I just wanted earlier a lake, so I just created it, and I asked you to build a tank around it. I wanted the water, I created lake. Now I want to smash it, I want to destroy it. You are not supposed to tell me anything, because I am the creator and I am the destroyer. The goddess told to the Mara. Mara kept quiet. Then after a few minutes, he just started to request at her. Goddess, try to protect me. Try to protect the entire region, Baba Budan Hills area. Thousands together people will lose their life, and lakhs together animals will die. And farmers, their fields will have to be barren again. They'll become empty, without water. Because it's because of you only they are getting shelter. It's because of you only they are getting clothes. It's because of you only they are being fed every moment. They are relaxing. It's because of your own daughter. It's your own made thing. That is Veda. Then he puts a request at her feet that Goddess, with full of request, I am telling you now, I just can't able to tell you to stop, but I want a humble request at you now. What is that? Could you please fulfill? What is that? Goddess, I'll just go and inform the king about the drinking of the lake and come back. After I come back, or once I return from the king, you can smash the lake, you can destroy the entire lake. I am not going to ask you to do anything. Fine. She accepted for the request of the Mara. After that, Mara just left and he told the same to the king. Then king accepted it. What is this? If it is going to smash, what is going to happen? The entire village will be put under a great catastrophe and a great disastrousness. It would be troublesome thing for everyone. And it will be such a holocaust. My dear students, then king could not say anything. He accepted it. I mean, whatever the Mara told him, he listened. And meanwhile, Mara told him a suggestion. What was the suggestion of Mara? When the king asked him, what is the suggestion? I accept your request that whatever you have put right in front of the goddess. And what is the solution for this problem or this question now? Then the Mara told him that, my lord, why don't you take your weapon and cut my head? But with one condition. What is that? After my tenure as a watchman of the lake, till the last generation of my family, the watchman of the lake should be appointed. So the watchman of the lake should be appointed from my family members only till the last generation. Fine. He accepted it. King denied it. He denied. Why he refused to kill him? Because he did not want to kill anybody. Being a king, he could not kill anyone. But there was no option left for the king as well as Mara. So Mara was being cut off his head. And now Mara could not turn up. He did not go to the goddess, and goddess could not smash the boundary, and in this way Mara sacrificed his entire life for the sake of Baba Budan Hills area people. My dear students, in the scene 4, Mara sacrificed his entire life for the sake of Baba Budan Hills area people. And coming to now scene 5, this is the last scene. My dear students, well, in the scene 5, what happens actually? After the death of Mara, it doesn't mean that nobody was there to watch the lake. After the death of Mara, his son Ganga, whose son Mara's son Ganga was appointed as the watchman of the lake, and Ganga performed all the responsibilities. And there were two temples. One was top of the lake, top of the mountain, goddess Vedas, and bottom of that mountain, at the bottom in the sense down of the mountain, Mara's temple was built. So two temples were built in the presence of Ganga and Ganga. Of course, after building, Ganga was being given the responsibility to be the watchman of the lake, right? In order to look after the lake and supervise the lake. Though Ganga was with him since beginning, what did he do? He appoints his son. Whose son, Ganga's son, was appointed in the scene 5. Ganga's son. Ganga's in the sense his son. Ganga, his son. Ganga's in the sense what it is? Yeah, his son. Ganga's son. So Ganga's son was being appointed as watchman of the lake, my dear students. After the death of Mara, Ganga was appointed. Well, he told him to look after everything earlier itself, but then since he told the king that his generation should be the watchman of the lake, then Ganga appointed his son to be the watchman of the lake, and he started to look after, and he forgets to perform the worship in the temples, in both the temples. Then he wakes up, he gives him the caution. Why? Ganga told his son that when I became watchman of the lake, I did not have your age. I was very smaller than you are. I was very small to you when I was being appointed as watchman of the lake. When king gave me the opportunity to be the watchman of the lake, then I did not see my father. When I had lost my father, I could see my father when I went to the bed. After a few hours, when I woke up, the king was present before me, and he told me to be the watchman of the lake. So I accepted the proposal. I accepted the request of the king. And now it's your responsibility. Ganga tells his son to look after the worships which is performed twice in a week, that is on a Tuesday and Friday. Worship should be performed, because people will understand that there was a common human being who changed himself as Godman, who changed himself as a great personality, who changed himself as a superhuman, who changed himself as the great human being by sacrificing his life for the sake of Baba Badan Hills area in order to provide them all the basic facilities. Remember, my dear students, here in the scene 5, Ganga's son appoints his son to be the watchman of the lake, and him to perform worship in the temples of goddess Veda and Mara on every Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday and Friday. My dear students, in the today's class, we have studied only the outline story of or the complete theme of the Watchman of the Lake. And what is the central idea of this drama? My dear students, R.K. Narayan has tried wonderfully in order to give the important message to the people that if man does not protect the nature, who else will protect the nature? Here, Mara has shown his honest duty in protecting the Baba Budan Hills area by sacrificing his life. It shows that how human values and ethics are very important in one's life. Well, my dear students, this is all about today the outline story of Watchman of the Lake. Hope you have enjoyed listening to today's video. Keep subscribing Sri Guru Independent PU English online classes and keep studying hard. Thank you very much.